Your sheets. You spend roughly a third of your life unconscious, and the quality of that unconsciousness, whether you wake up feeling human or feel like you've been hit by a shopping cart, is being quietly influenced by at least 10 things sitting in your bedroom right now. Not your stress levels, not your phone, the actual physical stuff around you. Let's start with what's touching your skin all night, your sheets. Most people don't think twice about thread count. They see 400 on the packaging and think, good. 800? Great. 1200? I am a person of taste and refinement. Here's the thing. Thread count is mostly marketing. What actually matters is the fiber and the weave. Cotton is still king for most people, but not all cotton is the same. Long staple cotton, Egyptian, Pima, Supima, has longer fibers that create a smoother, more durable thread. They breathe better. They soften over time instead of pilling into a fuzzy mess. Percale weave, which is a simple 1/1 under pattern, gives you that crisp, cool feel. It's breathable, great for hot sleepers. Sateen is the opposite. It's a denser weave, silkier, slightly heavier feel. Warmer. Great in winter, miserable in summer if you run hot. And then there's my personal favorite, linen, which feels scratchy at first, and some people never get past that, but if you do, it's extraordinary. Linen is temperature regulating in a way cotton isn't. It wicks moisture faster. Warm when you're cold, cool when you're hot. Some sleep researchers consider it the ideal natural fiber for sleep, and it is widely considered one of the most eco-friendly fabrics available. If you're sweating through your sheets or waking up cold, the fabric is a genuine variable worth changing. Not a luxury, an investment in yourself and the planet. Your pillow. Your pillow has one job, and that job is to keep your head, neck, and spine in a neutral line while you're completely unconscious and have zero ability to self-correct. That's a big ask for a bag of foam. The right pillow depends entirely on how you sleep. Back sleepers need medium loft, not too thick or your head gets pushed forward. Stomach sleepers, and I say this with love, you're doing your spine no favors, but if you persist, you need a very thin or even no pillow. Side sleepers need the most support. A firmer, thicker pillow to fill the gap between your ear and the mattress. Fill material matters too. Memory foam molds to you but retains heat. Latex is springier and sleeps cooler. Down is soft and adjustable but collapses over time. Buckwheat, yes, actual buckwheat hulls, is adjustable, naturally breathable, and has a loyal following among people who've tried everything else. And here's the thing most people skip. Pillows have a lifespan. Polyester, 1 to 2 years. Down, 2 to 3. Memory foam, up to 3. After that, they've lost their shape. They're compacted with dead skin cells and dust mites, and your neck is paying for it. If you wake up with a stiff neck or a headache, before you blame stress or your mattress, check how old your pillow is. The Mattress Topper. A mattress topper might be the most underrated sleep upgrade available. Here's the situation most people find themselves in. Their mattress is fine, but not quite right. Too firm. Too soft. Starting to sag in the middle. But a new mattress is hundreds or thousands of dollars, and that's a lot to spend on what might not even fix the problem. Enter the topper. A 2 or 3 inch memory foam topper can completely transform a too firm mattress, adding pressure relief, reducing the ache in hips and shoulders that side sleepers know very well. A latex topper adds bounce and responsiveness. A wool topper adds warmth and moisture wicking. There's even a category called cooling toppers, gel-infused foam or phase change materials that actively absorb body heat. For people who sleep hot, these can be a revelation. The catch: a topper can fix a too firm mattress. It cannot fix a structurally broken one. If your mattress has a visible sag or a trench where you sleep, a topper just gives that trench a nicer lining. You need to address the underlying issue. But if your mattress is fundamentally okay, a $60 topper might give you a better night's sleep than a $2,000 mattress replacement. Worth trying first.
The weight of your blanket.
Let's talk about weighted blankets, because the science here is genuinely interesting. Deep pressure stimulation, the feeling of firm, even pressure across the body, has a measurable calming effect on the nervous system. It activates the parasympathetic response. Heart rate slows, cortisol drops, serotonin and dopamine production increases. This is the same principle as swaddling a baby, or why a firm hug feels grounding when you're anxious. Weighted blankets, typically filled with glass beads or plastic pellets, deliver that pressure distributed evenly across your body. Studies have shown reductions in insomnia symptoms, anxiety, and nighttime movement in people who use them. The standard recommendation is roughly 10% of your body weight. So if you're around 150 pounds, a 15-pound blanket. But honestly, the best weight is the one that feels comfortable. Not oppressive, not barely noticeable. You should feel held, not pinned. One caution. Weighted blankets are not recommended for young children or people with certain respiratory or circulatory conditions. And they sleep warm, which for cold sleepers is a feature, but for hot sleepers is potentially a problem. But for the vast number of people who say they can't settle at night, who lie there with their mind churning, the physical sensation of weight can be exactly the signal their nervous system needs to switch off. The sleep mask. Light is one of the most powerful regulators of your sleep-wake cycle. Your body produces melatonin, the hormone that signals sleep, in response to darkness. Even small amounts of light hitting your closed eyelids can suppress that production. A streetlight through thin curtains, a standby LED, a phone screen across the room. Blackout curtains help, but they don't seal perfectly around edges and they don't travel. A sleep mask does both. Now, not all sleep masks are created equal. A flat, cheap one presses against your eyelashes and eyelids, mildly uncomfortable, and some people can't tolerate it. The game changer is a contoured mask, shaped to create a cavity over your eyes so nothing touches them. You can open your eyes in total darkness. It's genuinely strange the first time. Some masks add cooling gel inserts, useful for headaches and puffy eyes. Some have Bluetooth speakers built in for sleep audio. And increasingly, you're seeing masks with heating elements, which actually promote muscle relaxation around the eyes and can help with tension headaches. If you have never tried a proper contoured sleep mask, particularly if you sleep anywhere that isn't pitch black, it is a $12 experiment that has changed sleep quality for a remarkable number of people. Try it for a week. You might not go back. The air you're breathing. Here's something most people have never considered: the air quality in your bedroom while you sleep. We spend 8 hours breathing in a relatively small enclosed space, and that air accumulates particulates, dust, pet dander, pollen, VOCs off-gassing from furniture and carpets, and carbon dioxide from our own breath. By 4 in the morning, a sealed bedroom can have meaningfully elevated CO2 levels. Elevated CO2 doesn't just feel stuffy, it fragments sleep. It reduces the proportion of deep, slow-wave sleep. It causes more frequent microarousals, those partial wakings you don't remember but that leave you feeling unrestored. First and simplest solution: crack a window if you can. Fresh air exchange is remarkably effective. But for people with allergies, or in urban environments, or anywhere with seasonal pollen, a HEPA air purifier in the bedroom is a legitimate sleep tool. HEPA filters capture 99.97% of particles. That includes the dust mite allergens, pet dander, and mold spores that can keep allergic sleepers in a constant low-level state of inflammation. The white noise of a running purifier is also, for many people, a free bonus sleep aid. Look for a purifier sized for your room's square footage. Run it on a lower setting while sleeping to reduce noise. And replace the filter on schedule. A clogged filter is just recirculating everything you're trying to remove. What's happening in your mouth? Okay, this one's a bit different. Let's talk about your mouth while you sleep. If you wear a retainer, or a night guard, you already know the mixed feelings. It's uncomfortable at first. It makes you talk funny. You feel approximately 12 years old. But here's what's interesting. Beyond just protecting your teeth or keeping alignment, oral devices during sleep intersect with your sleep quality in ways most people don't realize. Bruxism, teeth grinding, affects somewhere between 8 and 31% of people, depending on the study. Most don't know they do it. Night guards protect your teeth, yes, but they also reduce the jaw muscle tension that can cause headaches, jaw pain, and, here's the sleep connection, actually disrupt sleep architecture. Grinding activates the jaw muscles repeatedly through the night. That's not rest. And then there's the more medically significant end of the spectrum: mandibular advancement devices, MADs. These are prescribed oral appliances that hold the lower jaw slightly forward during sleep, which keeps the airway open. They're an alternative to a CPAP for people with mild to moderate obstructive sleep apnea. If you're waking unrested, snoring, or your partner has mentioned you stop breathing, and we'll get to snoring in a moment, it's worth knowing that what's happening in your mouth while you sleep is more medically relevant than most people realize. Your dentist and your sleep quality are more connected than you'd think. Snoring. It's easy to treat snoring as a relationship inconvenience. The person keeping their partner awake, the source of 1,000 comedic nudges in the ribs. But here's the thing worth taking seriously. Snoring is the sound of a partially obstructed airway, and at its more significant end, it's a symptom of obstructive sleep apnea, a condition where the airway closes completely, repeatedly, throughout the night. Sleep apnea is associated with elevated risk of hypertension, heart disease, stroke, type 2 diabetes, and cognitive decline, and it is massively underdiagnosed. Partly because people assume feeling tired is just normal life, and partly because the diagnostic process, traditionally an overnight sleep study in a clinic, has been a significant barrier. Home sleep tests have changed this. You can now test for sleep apnea with a device you wear at home overnight, and the data goes to a clinician for review. Much less intimidating. For milder snoring, the positional kind, sleeping on your side instead of your back makes a significant difference for most people. There are even pillows and wearable devices designed specifically to encourage side sleeping. Nasal strips, which hold the nostrils open mechanically, reduce airflow resistance for people whose snoring originates in the nose rather than the throat. But if the snoring is loud, if it involves gasping or choking sounds, if you wake with headaches or feel exhausted regardless of how long you sleep, please don't dismiss it. Get it assessed. This is one of those areas where the bedroom fix is actually a health issue wearing a sleep costume. Room temperature. Room temperature might be the most evidence-backed sleep variable that most people are getting wrong. Here's the physiology. Your core body temperature needs to drop by about 1 to 2 degrees Fahrenheit to initiate and maintain sleep. This is not optional, it's hardwired. Your body does this naturally in the evening as part of the circadian process, shunting heat to your hands and feet, releasing it to the environment. If your room is too warm, that process is impaired. You take longer to fall asleep. You spend less time in deep, slow-wave sleep. You're more likely to wake during the night. The research consensus for optimal sleep is remarkably specific, somewhere between 60 and 67 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 15 to 19 Celsius, cooler than most people keep their rooms. Hot sleepers, particularly women experiencing perimenopause or menopause, where temperature dysregulation is a major sleep disruptor, often find that cooling the room is one of the most effective interventions available. If you share a bed with someone who runs cold while you run hot, this is a legitimate point of friction, and it's one of the reasons split comfort bedding systems, where each side has independent temperature control, have become genuinely popular. Simple, free starting point. Drop your thermostat a few degrees before bed. Open a window if the night air is cooler than your room. See what happens to how you feel in the morning. The little lights you've stopped seeing. Last one, and this one's sneaky. You've habituated to the lights in your bedroom, the standby dot on the television, the green LED on the power strip, the clock face that glows blue in the corner, the router blinking in the hall, the street light seeping under the door. You don't see them anymore, but your brain does. Even light you're not consciously aware of can signal your suprachiasmatic nucleus, the part of your brain that governs circadian timing, that it is not fully dark. Not fully time for deep rest. Blue light in particular, which LEDs emit heavily, suppresses melatonin production most aggressively. This is why screens before bed are such a problem, but it's also why a blue LED standby light 3 feet from your face isn't neutral. The fix is almost embarrassingly simple. Tape over indicator lights with a piece of electrical tape. Turn your clock away from you or get one without a display. Close doors. Use a sleep mask, which brings us full circle back to Section 5. There's a useful exercise. Stand in your bedroom in full darkness for 30 seconds after your eyes have adjusted. If you can see anything, shapes, lights, glows, that light is in your sleep environment all night. You've spent your whole life not thinking about your bedroom as a system, but it is. Every element, what's touching your skin, what's in the air, what's on your jaw, what's on your retinas at 2 in the morning, is part of that system. The good news is, almost everything we've talked about today is fixable, often cheaply, sometimes free. Sleep is the foundation of everything else. It's worth taking it seriously. Subscribe if you enjoy thoughtful explanations about psychology, human behavior, and the patterns shaping modern life.